Hello and welcome back to BS3 Talk, not just for the postcode, but because there's three of us, and you might think we're chatting bullshit. Time to introduce my ever-present guests. Hello, Dos, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's a bit warm in here, but yeah, I think I'll cope, it's alright.
And Coxy, you're here as well, fresh from that YouTube edit, no doubt.
Not quite as good as yours, though, are they?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to have to make another one, aren't I?
Yeah, can we just point out to start with?
Yeah.
I said I wouldn't, but actually I think I might.
I think it's worth it.
Go on.
He's a Liverpool fan, I think we all know that.
Yeah.
And he's got his Liverpool shirt on.
It's a controversial
Winning at Anfield is
kit.
Easy.
But don't
Winning
worry.
at Anfield is
don't
easy.
worry, BS3 Talk listeners. We have at least 2 fans in this room.
I mean,
We do.
I do go to games.
Yeah, you do your bit.
Yeah, but I couldn't really.
Not Liverpool ones. Let's clarify that.
I couldn't really not wear a Liverpool shirt after a 4-0 win against Barcelona in a semi-final.
It was a bit mad. Spec went berserk.
Spec did go off. But that's enough about Spectre. Let's jump into a bit of the recent news of Bristol City then. In this whole podcast, we are just going to be talking about the season in general and a season review. But with it being the end of the season, you know, the news that's come out maybe the last day or two, it's worth us mentioning what's happened, of course. So Frankie Fielding and Pisano have been released.
Frankie Fielding's left the building.
He has left the building.
Nathan Baker might still be partying.
Might be, who knows?
Not about Fielding. There's no party without Frank Fielding.
Oh, no Frankie, no party.
No.
Oh.
It's going to be weird, but it
I'll
was
miss the
it was
kicks
time
out
to
for
move him on,
Thrones.
wasn't it?
Yeah, like I think it was. Well, I think we can all tell it's been coming. Obviously, he's been a bit injury prone of late. You know, when he has played, like, I think he has been getting a lot of stick. You know, kicks going out for throw-ins. He doesn't seem to command the area very well. And I think if we are to make that next level, then players like Fielding, like, you know, players like that need to be replaced to just go up a level. And I did the poll on Twitter to see, obviously, at BS3 Talk, if our followers City fans agreed with the decision to let Fielding go. There was 60 votes and 88% said yes, they agreed they let Fielding go.
It's pretty
so
resounding,
that's resounding, yeah.
I mean, let's not forget, he is somewhat Bristol City legend, sort of cult hero. He's a good chant, bless him. I still maintained throughout last season where he did start to drop off. We all know what he's good and what he's not good at. I still maintain that he was one of the best shot stoppers in the league. And I will always say that because he was. He really was. Like, I'm talking about him like he's dead. No, he was incredible at shot stopping. It was just pretty much everything else. He just lacked that little bit in. I mean, Hull at home last season was...
he was also prone to an error as well at the same time.
I think what he can, you know, it's not just on the field, it's off the field. Like, what he did for I think he was the first player to sign up with Children's Hospice Southwest, to almost build that link that's obviously now so strong between the club and that charity. So it's not just the on the field stuff that I think made him more of a cult hero. It's always, you know, I think he did an Instagram post saying, he's happy to drive people to work this morning and stuff like that.
The reception he got on Instagram.
Yeah,
or not even on Instagram, just from everyone. I think I've just got a story from Marlon Pack here. The term legend often gets overused in football, but not in this case. Frankie Fielding, thanks for everything, mate. I think that just shows what kind of a man he was.
He's very well respected,
I think you just mentioned it there when he was sort of driving people in the snow. He's just a bit of a legend, and he'll be remembered both on and off the pitch. And it's sad to see him go, but
it was
double winner
at the same time on it.
He's forever a Bristol City double winner.
Want to go to the pub with, isn't he? He's that kind of guy. You'd seem. I've never met him, but he just seems that kind of guy. I want to go Spec and have a Carlin with Frank Fielding.
Carlin.
Well, no, Spec don't do Thatchers. There's nothing in Spec. Spoons and get a Thatcher's gold then. That's better.
Strongbow's not that bad.
I don't like Strongbow. I don't really like any alcohol that isn't Thatcher's. It's not good.
No,
I
agree.
I just
pure blooded.
Proper West Country.
Yeah, it just doesn't do it for me.
Another name worth mentioning, Pisano. This was a weird one, wasn't it, with the polls, wasn't it, Dos?
Well, we're a bit surprised, actually. There was 50 votes, and it was 72% said yes, they were happy to see him released, but I'm not so sure.
He
definitely still has something in there. Like, I don't think right-back's been that much of a problem this season. Like, I think I would happy to just keep it as it is, but again, if the club are to progress to the next level, we need to be replacing these, like, 7 out of 10 championship players with 8 out of 10 championship players.
What I like to think is that if we're letting Pisano go, then we've got someone in mind. Moses Odobajo just got released. He's a brilliant right back. All the fans... Wait, he's Brentford, isn't he? Because he was Wolves. I think he's Brentford now.
I've seen a lot of... I haven't seen much
because him and like
of him,
McEachran. Moses Odobajo got released by Brentford, and quite a lot of their fans are saying why. And I wouldn't mind him, but I'd also like someone... a right back version of Jada Silva. I mean, there's the Charlton Dykes deal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you mentioned in the BS3 Live show, Jack Stacey.
I know with Luton coming up, it's a bit ambitious, but he would be the one I'd go for.
But I think it shows that hopefully we have ambition to replace him. But it's still sad. I mean, Pisano was kind of a bit like Magnussen was, bit of a fan favourite. His wife, shout out to his wife, always sort of supporting him and supporting Bristol City in general.
And supporting BS3 Talk.
Exactly. Oh,
which we very much
it's
appreciate.
it's just really sad because he was just a bit of a legend.
It could be that like Viner comes in to be that second choice right back, which
true.
I think is probably the most likely scenario. But,
Or Taylor Moore.
Yeah. So there are options available. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Did touch on Jada Silva there as well. It's worth pointing out, obviously, the signing situation there. It seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it, to bring Jay in? But for whatever reason, it's not happening as we speak. I mean, it could happen in the next few weeks or so. But as of now and where we stand, it's goodbye Jada Silva.
I mean,
that Instagram post.
The Instagram. Thank you to the fans for your support all season. Wish all the best to the lads and the club in the future.
It doesn't sound, especially with the news that Chelsea. I think they've had their transfer ban rejected. So you never know. But it's just so sad. I was so confident that we get him in. I was so confident. There's still a chance.
There's been rumours that we've activated the pre-agreed deal.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not from the main one that sort of got shared wasn't the most reliable journalist, but of course we were always gonna go for him.
Yeah, I think for 2 million,
his choice.
I think with 2 million, we were always going to activate that. He's worth probably about 10 million more than that. So for the 2 million fee that's agreed, we're definitely going to go in for it. It's just whether or not he won. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know where else he'd go. I can't see him featuring for Chelsea.
Well, he's had the chance of the season.
I can't really see a Premier League team going in for him. It's like where else would he be?
I'm going to start singing his name. Chant of the season.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better one.
Yeah, so
we slip and slide as we fall in
No,
love.
don't get me started again because I will sing it and it will make me cry. Callas, I think, he's got to have earned himself a Premier League move by now.
Surely.
A permanent or loan. Come on, he's got to be there eventually.
When you look at some of the defences like Fulham's this season and think, why isn't Callas?
Why didn't they keep
him? It's so weird.
Ridiculous.
I think that was the most. When he came to us, he seemed bemused by the decision that Fulham sort of let him go again.
Yeah.
Which is awful, but I don't think, obviously, it's pretty much 99% sure that Casey Palmer isn't coming back. I don't think it's the end of the world if Callas leaves. Obviously, Webster and Callas have been immense, but I wouldn't mind too much. But Jada Silva, we need him.
Speaking of players that we need, Stefan Marinovic, anyone?
What a heartbreaker.
Oh, bless
I was
him.
expecting him to go on to bigger things with the club after that performance versus Ipswich.
I think he's really put himself in the shop window, and that we should see a team like Real Madrid or Barcelona come knocking soon enough.
I mean, Ter Stegen had a bit of an off night last night, didn't he? Surely, I don't think it's much of a coincidence that Marinovic has become available at the same time.
God. Oh, to be fair to Marinovic, he had a poor game. He admitted it.
Did he?
And sadly, he did on his Instagram. He was like, apologies, but I'll come back stronger. It's a shame he didn't get the chance to come back stronger. But I think with the future with Mayapar and O'Leary is brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd rather, if we have Mayapar next season, get those two working together, and then maybe next season, or the season after, O'Leary could be a first team choice. If he's still not learnt enough, we bring in someone else. I think we've got such good flexibility with most of our squad, and goalkeepers definitely.
Yeah, but O'Leary's not put a foot wrong. I don't know why people are still doubting him. I know he's still young and he's only really had half season on his belt, but he hasn't put a foot wrong so far. I don't think you just relegate him.
No,
I don't think
you can, but I think Mayapar was incredible for 2/3 of the season.
We didn't really have a goalkeeper mistake leading to a goal this season, really, did we?
I think
only Marinovic. He made more mistakes in that game than the other two combined in the season.
O'Leary's had the classic sort of youngster. He's not been able to sort of command the box like I'd say Mayapar does. But I wouldn't say he's any worse than Mayapar. No. So I'm more than happy with going on with those two next season.
And then maybe like Wallacott is maybe like a third choice. I don't know. I know he was at Gloucester City, but I can't say I watched him there. But you think if the club did recall him, they have some sort of hope.
Do you think
we'll
bring in a goalkeeper? Maybe another sort of like free transfer like Mayapar last season?
I feel if we were to be a third choice, one that would just be like, when Chelsea bought in Rob Green, kind of like one like that.
Caballero's got no...
Who is it Man United brought in?
Oh, Lee Grant.
Grant.
One like that. I feel it would just be a third choice.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
when we're talking maybe about Callas there as well, obviously, it's his 7th loan spell in 9 years at Stamford Bridge. Football London are reporting that he does want to seek a move away from Stamford Bridge on a permanent basis this summer. If Bristol City were to buy him, how much, what fee are we talking about?
I think upwards of 10 million.
Definitely.
I don't know about you. Upwards of 10 to 15 million, I'd say.
I think if you put in a above average performance for 3 seasons consecutively in the Championship, and you play for a top 6 side like Chelsea,
no coincidence, is it? Yeah.
Then it's going to be... I don't think they'd want 20 because I think they'd be happy to let him go.
Yeah.
But I'd say 10 to 15, probably 50, more closer to 15.
Yeah, we definitely want to have more than double our transfer record to bring him. That's why it's a bit... that's why I don't see it happening.
I wouldn't pay... Plus, I think he deserves Premier League, but I don't think I'd pay double figures for him.
No,
because that would completely end our season. I don't know whether we were even going to pay double figures for anyone.
No, I feel that would have to be the main marquee signing. And I think we are best served putting that towards a striker or a winger or... Because I thought we still have Baker and Wright. I know Baker's a bit injury prone and can be a bit reckless.
Lloyd Kelly,
yeah. I think we will bring in some, but Webster only costs $3 million. There are cheaper options out there that can do a job.
I'm really impressed with Taylor Moore's had a brilliant loan spell at Southend. I mean, yeah, they were in a relegation scrap, but he was one of their better players. And it's League One. It's not the worst level. We've seen what Bobby Reid, when he went on loan to Plymouth that year, was League Two.
Yeah.
Then he came up and became sort of a first team player a couple of years later. I think Taylor Moore, especially last summer, I remember the pre-season, it looked like Taylor Moore was going to stay this season. Yeah. And I was very surprised when he got loaned out. I'm not sure what to think about Zach Viner.
No, because I see some Rotherham fans hating on him. Now they seem to love him.
I think he's improved.
One. Yeah.
Because he got jeered off the pitch at one point. And I read, there was an article, I don't know whether you read it. He said that's I think it was the lowest point of his career. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But he seems to have sort of won them back a bit. He's played a decent part in a plucky Rotherham side. We'll say that.
They impressed me this season, to be fair.
I think we all wanted them to stay up, really. But
I don't want Barnsley back up. That's so boring. I can't wait for Barnsley to go down to be replaced by Rotherham again next season. It's just a revolving door. No one wants to go to Barnsley away.
Yo.
What did Pompey, Sunderland, yeah. Barnsley again.
Imagine Charlton coming back up.
Apparently Woodrow's the best player in the world, I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah, and apparently Barnsley would beat us.
Oh,
shocking.
They wish. So, should we jump into the season review then? It only seems fair now, doesn't it? Well,
please do.
I've kind of gone for picking out the key moments in the season. Obviously, you guys will have your say on it. But the first one I picked out was the 2-0 loss away at Leeds. Bristol City being 13th at the time, and we're talking about halfway through the season at this point. I think it was about the 19th, 20th match day. And if you think 13th at the time, how far Bristol City fought back after that.
Yeah, I remember that game. After that, there was so many calls for Johnson out. That was the one point in the season where Johnson was really being put under pressure. He was getting fans all in his head. But since then, that was just before. I think the flick just switched. And the Championship is such a momentum league.
Oh, what?
A flick just switched.
Switch just flicked.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
a switch
you just said
flicked.
It again twice.
I said a flick just switched. That was a tongue twister, but you know what I mean.
Flicked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the Championship is such a momentum league. If you do put some momentum, I think it literally, you see the teams that Villa, their favourites are just because they're favourites for the playoff, just because the momentum they put together. And if you do put a run of wins together, you can go from 13th in the playoffs. I think the teams are so evenly matched. The momentum is.
Yeah, those Johnson out calls as well. I think what's important to say as well was the next game was Ipswich.
Yeah.
So people just thought, right, new manager, easy game, go again. And obviously Johnson did go on to win that 3-2. But yeah, on to Coxy, what were you going to say?
I mean, the Leeds game was the last time we didn't score up until, I think, the Wolves game.
Yeah.
And the last time we didn't score in the league until, the Leeds game, I think. I think it was both Leeds games. So it
was.
It's still incredible. I mean, Villa had their run, but I still think ours is better.
I do, yeah.
15 unbeaten, and it got us from... I mean, it got them from nowhere to the playoffs, but it got us from absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, but you expect it from Villa. I think that's more
so.
Yeah,
Villa, they're a good side, whereas we didn't... Mate, when we lost to Ipswich, we were at Wadden Road, weren't we? Yeah. And we were like, there's just something going on here. It's just not good.
I remember we went to the pub after that Leeds game, we were just thinking, we just felt defeated. We thought the season's over, nothing's going to happen. If anything with relegation battle, just going to be... We just thought given we just thought we'd been such a downgrade from last season. We thought, we had all this luck, beating Man United last season, playoff push. This season now, we think what's there to play for?
The Ipswich game was, looking back, probably the biggest game in the season.
Yeah,
because if we hadn't have won that,
it was such a yo-yo game as well. Like there were like 5 goals in
3-2, yeah,
5 minutes, something like that. It seemed like
I don't think we'd have been. I think we would not fight in relegation, but we would have been standard mid-table side, but like comfortably, because that just completely switched a flick.
Yeah,
flicked the switch. That completely flicked the switch and just sort of, it just turned. I don't know. It just something happened.
What Phil said about
They found a
momentum was
formula.
important.
Yeah.
I think it just carried that result from there on. The momentum they carried as well, and like you said, 15 unbeaten. There was like 4 draws within the 6, and then after that, 9 wins in a row.
Yeah.
So like,
it's mental. There were all sorts of wins as well. We won comfortably. We won games that we didn't deserve to win. We scored goals. We didn't concede any.
yeah,
It was just a mental run.
Yeah, and I think Johnson found that formula, that I thought was it 4-1-4-1 formation that we kind of implemented. In the away games, it was brilliant. We seemed to win every game 1-0 a lot of the time. It was just gritty. Teams couldn't break it down. They couldn't find a way around it.
it was well balanced.
It was very well balanced.
Yeah. That's exactly how I'd describe it. And having the pivot as in the 1, like behind the 4, it worked really well, and it seemed to get the best out of Pack as well, I thought, at that time. And it gave the back 4 the protection it needed when it wasn't in a good place either. But a few of those wins in the run, are there any that come to mind as like, right, here we go?
I thought the away ones, I think we went to Birmingham, we thought, right, we're not going to win here, this is going to be a write-off of a game. We just thought we're just going for the day out.
Yeah,
You're
same
shaking
with
your head,
Fox.
but we were going on the train, we were thinking there's no way we win. Oh,
Sort
fair.
my headphones out.
We were thinking there's no way we win, but then we just pop up Juju header from a corner, and that was almost the story of the season. Forest away was similar, 1-0 win, and even then Blackburn away a bit later.
Both of them were good. I mean, do you remember Brum was our first sort of away game of the season?
Yeah.
And it was just...
It was so unexpected.
First ever away game together.
Yeah, the spirit. It was
up.
just the spirits with the away fans was brilliant. And then the game, you had that man next to us, pretending to shoot the Birmingham fans. He was like 80. I was like, fair play to this guy.
Scenes.
Yeah.
I think
so unexpected. It's like, fam, do you not the crowd? It was,
by far, though, for me, I think the moment of that run was the QPR win.
Oh yeah,
the last minute
definitely.
penalty, because they celebrated sort of right in front of us.
That sealed the 8 in a row.
And it was sort of the point where if we'd have dropped points at home to QPR, the dream would have been over.
What I don't get is fans were booing at half time in that game. We had
went 1-0 down.
We had won 7 in a row.
We're never gonna please everyone.
No.
We'd literally be top of the league and not lost a game. We'd lose the last game of the season and they boo.
Yeah.
Genuinely. But it's not what we want to focus on.
Well, part of that
focus
run
on
as
the good
well
times.
was the 1-0 win over Huddersfield in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and I mean, it was really, I thought we went on a really good run, and it was eventually quite unlucky against Wolves, but probably that Huddersfield result, beating I know that they weren't the best Premier League team, but beating a Premier League team at the time seemed huge, and that goal from Josh Brownhill as well. Oh.
And the Bolton one, and the Eliasson against Bolton.
Yeah.
We were just, I mean, we got 2 pretty comfortable FA Cup ties. It would have been nice to have an away day.
Huddersfield were a Premier League team in name only.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. But Wolves were a different kettle of fish.
Wolves, yeah.
Can we just talk about that? Was the last time Frankie Fielding touched the ball right at the end? Was when he had that. Was it a Boise? I can't remember.
It was just a volley.
Yeah. If he'd have scored, I actually don't think I'd be here right now. I'd still be on the
him
latch.
doing a knee slide in front of the singing section, just with his swirling his top around his head.
That
shorts down, windmilling in front of the. So I remember going a bit too far. But I can just imagine the scenes.
We were talking about it at the time, I remember, just after it happened, maybe just after the full-time whistle, we're saying, the thing is, what you expect of a keeper when they hit a volley is maybe to like scuff it, or just, he hit it so sweetly
it was going in.
And I was like,
going in.
Just that's all I'd live for.
I don't think I've ever been more excited.
No.
Just seeing him line up.
You see Fielding just run up from the penalty, thinking, here we go, you know. Big aerial threat in Frank Fielding's going to cause absolute chaos, but then he just nearly gets on the end of it.
As well. Would have been.
Surprised they didn't go out for a throw-in, but you know.
I don't think I would have celebrated a goal harder than that.
No. I think pitch invasion would have been the only fair way to do it.
The only way to honour the goal is a pitch invasion.
I mean, talk about limbs. There would have been many broken limbs if that had gone in.
People just tearing their
crowd
arms off, just lobbing them at the.
I'd have been crowd serving down the singing section. Yeah. Carry me. It would have been United all over again.
Yeah, and I mean, we spoke about away days then with Birmingham, but I think the highlight of your 2 seasons would have been the Sheffield United result, surely.
Without a doubt.
One of the
Peak of the
best
season.
days of my life.
So
Genuinely.
it was unexpected,
Yeah.
but
and I
it
think
was just
as
an
well,
amazing day, a perfect day.
like with just starting the podcast and stuff, and we're like, oh, we'll just write off this game. You know, it's not happening. We lose this game, we move on, and then to get a win in that fashion and play the football they did.
It was just like
That was the point where I thought we are getting playoffs.
it
That
still
was
makes me speechless.
Yeah, I was thinking about it in the walk down. I was thinking how I was thinking of like year at uni. Like, what was the highlight? That just came to mind straight away.
It's one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
Like by far. It was. You can't explain how that actually felt when we were 1-0 down, when we were 2-1 down.
Billy Sharp's giving it like he runs right in front of us, just goes like that, arms out right in front of us. She shushes us 6 minutes in, like we had said anything to him.
Away at the second best team in the league,
who had won like 7 in a row at the time,
and they hadn't like conceded a goal at home.
Spent the whole half abusing Dean Henderson.
And for Andy Ryman to score a hat trick as well. Of all of them, Andy Ryman.
I only realised that one of them was him that actually scored it.
Yeah, you thought they were different ones, and you thought his second was a header, even though it was right in front of us.
I don't know how.
It was a bit of a left-right as well, wasn't it? 77th minute and 83rd minute.
It was. Yeah, it's like he's only just. I'd only just got back up the stairs from celebrating the second goal, and I was back in the same place again.
We'd only just recovered.
Worth adding to it as well, the GoPro. Surely.
That was. I mean.
That's
I think we're a bit. We don't know what to say. We don't know what to think.
Just gotta leave that bit alone.
It's
like
great.
It's just like that. It's just what football's all about, isn't it? Like you score a goal, you're just hugging random strangers. It's just.
I mean, the GoPro was the second goal as well. The GoPro was there, so like
being able to have the screenshot on my phone of Doss like swinging his arms about and Coxy like staring right into a GoPro. Just as a reaction to anything, I can use that.
You don't actually think.
Really, I've gained a lot from this.
Yeah, you are. When you're celebrating, you just kind of, especially in a game like that,
going through the
you
motions.
don't really. Yeah, you know that from last night. You don't know what you're doing.
I had no idea.
Like,
I got rammed into like a wall and it like scratched. I got a massive bruise on my arm. It's like scratched some of the skin off my arm.
I wish you'd have been at, because you almost came Sheffield United.
I almost did, yeah. But
Ryan almost came.
Yeah.
Imagine more of a squad. But then it didn't matter because we were just, and then we went up. Sheffield was so nice. I mean, we've covered this on the pod before. The people were nice. The place was nice.
They were the friendliest fans I've been. You compare them to the Villa fans who were not been like, they were absolute
entitled knobheads.
They were. They just like, we were just walking back. They just, we had a few cars, just people leaning out the window saying, "What's the score, boys? Up the Villa, you're shit."
You wouldn't be saying that if you're walking past us instead of zooming at 50 miles an hour in your bloody.
They said
Audi.
nothing in the after. If you're gonna do it, just say it like at the ground. Not when you're in your car. It's just like
I feel like we're getting sidetracked, but
yeah, we are. But we just it's a season review.
Yeah,
Villa does come into it, so I mean it is relevant.
That was one of the most heartbreaking moments of the season when that full-time whistle went.
I think Wigan's my most.
Because those are the two I've got in front of you. I wanted to go from the elation of beating Sheffield away to a last-minute equaliser for Wigan and the loss at Villa, where sort of robbed by officials.
Story of the season.
Where it fell apart, wasn't it?
Scott Duncan.
Yeah, Scott Duncan. It's not the penalty. It's the disallowed goal as well. And it's not that. It was the fact he was gagging to give them the decision all game. Every 50-50, you just see Greers. It wasn't even Greers. Greers wasn't even playing. You see McGinn go to ground. You didn't even look. You just see him go like that, blow the whistle, points towards our goal to give a free kick. It was just ridiculous. It was so. I love to see what the foul stats were that game. It was ridiculous. Players getting booked for no reason.
Foul stats up for you if you'd like, Doss.
Players getting booked for no reason. It was just it was comedy refereeing. We didn't even play it badly that day. It was just.
Matty Taylor should have scored. Then he scored a goal that was offside.
Vyman
scored a goal that was,
but it was
offside, but it was onside, which has happened 3 times this season.
Yeah.
And then second half we had our chances. Then Hunt was poor that game because
El Ghazi had him on toast.
El Ghazi was having a field day.
Yeah.
He just had acres of space every time, but because obviously we had the view sort of from behind. But their goals were good, and at the end of the day, they were on a mad run, and I don't think we were the team to stop them.
Well, I pulled the stats up here. Villa had 25 shots, 11 on target. Bristol City had 11 shots, 1 on target.
Yeah, we weren't the better team.
And Bristol City had 13 fouls to Villa's 7. So maybe it's more...
joke.
It's more a mental thing. But I know stats always don't tell the full story.
Vyman's goal was quite early, so I feel if that had gone in, it would have suited us to the
Oh
ground.
yeah, we were still celebrating when the free kick had been
the free kick had
taken.
been taken. No, I only just turned around. I think someone had the ball. I was like, what?
That was the most embarrassing moment of the season for
Yeah.
sure. Because if you're a Villa fan, you're absolutely lapping that up.
That's when Derby had it like twice. To be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Derby
that was
weren't great.
different.
Yeah.
That was 2-0 up already.
Yeah.
We were going absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I was still embarrassed by that.
That 10 seconds is still a highlight of the season. Thinking we got 1-0 up.
No, I can't remember it. I blocked Villa out my memory now. I just think of Sheffield United.
Has it been banned?
It has. It's been banished.
You touched on the Derby game there, Doss, and
I did.
2-0 loss at home, and everything rested on this game as well. We thought that the Villa loss and the Wigan draw had blown the playoff hopes out of the water, but it comes back around, doesn't it? And results fall in City's favour, and you think, right, if we win, it is the biggest 6-pointer, isn't it, Coxy?
Well, hey.
Yeah, but 2-0 loss at home to Derby in a game where City just missed so many chances and really failed to capitalise on the dominance in the first half, didn't they?
Yeah, I feel that's as common. I feel that is the one thing this season is the home form. Like, we got the third best away form, but 18th best home form in the whole league. That's not good enough. I know people say, oh, we shouldn't be challenging the playoffs, but we should have better home form than the 18th best. We should have better than the 18th best home form in the league.
I mean,
like, that's been our downfall. Not beating, Wigan at home, Reading at home, Ipswich at home. Who else is there?
Brentford, Millwall.
Brentford at home, Millwall at home. Teams like that. That's where we need a striker to just almost bury one of those.
From the different point of view, we've got, I mean, what was it? Probably our best. I know it was 11 away league wins, but is that like our best in a bloody long time?
Third best in the league away form. That's impressive.
Exactly. Because
that was our downfall almost last season.
That does counter it, but you've got to, at the end of the day, you've got to have both. If we make Ashton Gate a fortress, we know we're normally quite good away from home.
Yeah.
So I think if we made Ashton Gate a fortress, we're both very optimistic about next season.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just feels complete contrast to last season.
I can't remember the last time I've seen so many people so optimistic about the way this club's going.
It's because we've been so close this season, but yet we know we will get better. There's so much we can improve on. If we do improve on that, then we'll be a 10 times better team for it. And if it's better this next season than this season, we've been so close, then who knows?
Next season could be the year.
Yeah.
Why I
Let's
think
hope.
it feels different this time around is because this season we didn't know what to expect. We thought we'd lost too much quality. We thought we'd lost the players we needed, and still City challenged and they went there. And I think that is the main difference, is that because you've seen them do it when they've lost that many players and so many crucial players, and losing Bobby Reid, losing Brian, losing Flint, and then going on and going again, and you feel the confidence now that it's not, just because you don't get it one season doesn't mean that you can't the next. It's a rebuilding project. They're improving year upon year, and it's only a matter of time, it seems.
Yeah, it's no coincidence that we replaced 2 of those 3, but the one we didn't has cost us playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is,
if we had Reid, I reckon we'd have been comfortably in playoffs.
I think we'd have been challenging for autos. I think
that 20 goals would have just set, like that 20 goals that sees us beat teams like Millwall. That's the difference at the end of the day. We would have beat Millwall, Reid. Beat Reid, beat Millwall, beat Wigan, teams like that if we had that striker.
I'd like to have known whether Lee Johnson thought of Andy Weimann when he brought him in, what his sort of plans were for him, whether he thought he was a winger, a striker, a Bobby Reid replacement, because I think we all thought he was the Bobby replacement, and he's not. He's something completely different. I like Andy.
Do you?
Yeah, no, I think he's brilliant. But the issue is...
That's not what you say.
No.
For the 90 minutes.
No, I think he's brilliant, but I also think he's only had 8-9 good games this season, where he's shown how good he is. Sheffield United, Swansea at home, the first 5 of the season.
That's an underrated game of the season. I love that.
Incredible. Like, Swansea at home was, before Sheffield United, his best performance of the season.
Yeah.
He ran the show, and then he obviously ran it in Sheffield, but he needs to do that more often.
Yeah, he's got it in him. It's just made that consistency.
I don't know who is going to be the sort of Bobby replacement, but we need someone. And we need someone that can rotate with, that we can put up top with Weimann.
Yeah.
And drop or rest Zizou. So I think that second striker role, if we get it right...
It's so crucial.
If we get it right, we'll be good. If we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you're to give this season a mark out of 10, what are you thinking?
8. 7.5 to 8. because there's still room. There's still room. I'm not going to give it a 10 because there is room to grow. But then, compared to my expectations at the start of the season, you know, it's so much better than I thought it would be.
I think
there's just so many more highlights.
They're
than I
the
thought
exact 2 numbers that I thought of, 7.5 and 8. I'd probably go 7.5, only because
they've outdone expectations, but they've not reached where they should have in the end, based on how they've played.
There's been a fair few just dry games and nothing's happened.
There's been too many
to watch.
Sort of 5-6 game streaks where 4-5-6 game streaks where we've not got a win, and the best teams in the league don't go any more than 2 or 3 games without a win.
Yeah,
that's just fact, and we know Streaky Johnson. We know what he's capable of. He needs to sort out those losing streaks, because otherwise we're never going to make it. No. There's a lot of questions.
I feel he has done that, because I know the 2 seasons before this one, there were, you know, dramatic losing streaks. I won't say any of this season has been as drastic.
They're cutting them down.
They are cutting them down.
At the end of the day, they've still cost us. And I think there's a lot of debate at the moment whether, I can't remember who was it. Was it Alex was telling us he thinks Lee Johnson isn't the man to take us up.
Yeah, he said that last night.
But I don't see why not. He took Barnsley up. Did he do? What did he do with Oldham?
We're getting better each year, and I think that's the key thing.
I think it needs to happen in the next year or 2, though, because we are in the best position. We're in a better position than we were in 2008 now, in terms of our squad and how good it is. There's a lot of teams. I'd say there's at least 12, 13, maybe 14 teams that could go up next season.
Yeah, and then I think the top 15 will all be saying, you know, promotion this year, so it is competitive. But
so
I don't know if that's ever going to change. So
I'd like to think we've got enough this season. Playoff, it needs to be playoffs at the least. It does.
But I've seen so many fans saying that, like Sheffield Wednesday fans saying it, Preston fans saying it, Brentford fans saying it. No doubt the teams in the Premier League coming down and saying it. I've seen Barnsley fans saying it. I've seen Barnsley fans saying to the Championship, oh yeah, nice to stop off for a year. You know, we'll be in the Prem next year. It's like, come on, Barnsley.
Yeah, but it's the Championship. They could be.
They could be, yeah, but
they genuinely could be. I'd like, I think, if we do a sort of prediction for next season podcast at the start of the season, it'll be interesting to see how much our opinions change over the summer.
Yeah.
Because our summer, Lee Johnson has said we're gonna be bold. Our summer could determine quite easily whether we go up or not, in my opinion.
Yeah. And moving on from there, I wanted to do like a mini season awards for this. So
here we go.
You may have seen on our Twitter the goal of the season sort of thing we had going.
Check out the thread.
And that was a few hours well spent.
Courtesy of Jack Dawson.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you chose the emojis. He was with me.
We've got the video on
art.
YouTube as well, haven't we? So
yeah, that's all of the goals of the season.
But
yeah, please check that out.
The pick of the bunch, as the tweet said. And
I mean,
who would you give it to, personally?
I think it has to be O'Dowd against Norwich away.
There's only one winner, yeah.
But I don't know. It's just this.
If you give it solo goal,
situation.
Solo goal, we will, but not yet. Solo goal, COD. Team goal, Fam at Forest.
That's brilliant.
Set piece, I'd say Pato over Brownhill.
Yeah, I just think a bit
and
further
then
out.
Beauty of a long
aesthetically
range.
Pleasing.
Eliasson versus QPR.
I could watch that GIF over and over. It's the flick from Patterson.
The slice pass. The touch. The swarm of defenders that close him down. And the Carly finish.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
That's my favourite.
He needs to start next season. I mean, we'll talk about O'Dowd in a sec. Eliasson needs to start. It's no coincidence. This is going to be the most rant I've had. This is on. He's only done a couple of things wrong this season, Lee Johnson. But one thing, there must be something going on, because Nicholas Eliasson, whenever he's on the pitch, he creates a chance. Hully did it. Reading, he did it. Every time he comes onto the pitch, he crosses it, someone gets their head on it, and it goes into the back of the net.
I struggle to remember seeing a better crosser of the ball.
He's the best left peg I've ever seen. Yeah. Better than Joe Bryan's.
Yeah.
It's immense.
Ridiculous.
He just
he needs to the blade of. If you say Eliasson, right, this is the blade of grass here. Cross it to this blade of grass. He'll hit it on the head
with his eyes closed.
Yeah,
in his sleep,
with his legs tied together.
With I don't know what else to do.
Not on his right foot though. That's what needs to improve his right foot. He wouldn't do it on his right foot.
Even his end product is quite good. He scored a couple of bangers this season. Yeah. Like
he's a brilliant
His attacking
player.
Positions are brilliant. His dribbling. I mean, the defender literally knows exactly what he's going to do every time, and they never stop it.
But let's get real. If he had a right foot, he wouldn't be with us.
Yeah, I mean, he still
Especially
might not be
going
with
forward,
us.
yeah.
Him, Brownhill, and Webster are who I'm most worried about over summer.
I don't think we'd lose Eliasson though.
I don't think we'd lose Webster. I'm worried about Brownhill. I am honestly worried, but
there hasn't been any rumours so far. So
Callum O'Dowda, Jack Dawson.
What
do we all think?
I just don't like injured. Now he's been called up for the Ireland squad, but he's too injured to play the remainder of the season. I think he's off.
I mean,
I think he's off, and I wouldn't care.
When I went, I went to the when I was at the Reading game with the Shadow and Knee BCTV commentator, shout out Toby. We were chatting to, I've forgotten the man's name, lovely man. I think he was like the floor manager down by the tunnel. He said he saw Callum O'Dowda that day, and he said he was really injured. Now at the time I had no reason to not believe this.
Yeah.
But this recent Ireland call up, his disabled comments on his
disabled comments on Instagram
after Joe Bryan had tweeted a load of eyes.
Yeah.
So like commented.
I've seen Oxford fans comment the same thing, because obviously the way he left Oxford fans are saying it's a similar situation. Like apparently when he left Oxford to come to us, he almost feigned illness for a few weeks beforehand before that move took place.
Why would you do that
time?
though? It doesn't benefit you in any way.
I just think he thinks that he's above the club a bit.
Do I think he's a really good player? Yes.
I don't think he's even that valuable.
I don't know where he's going to go.
No.
Maybe if Leeds stay down, he go to Leeds, but I'm not overly convinced that
if he moves, this is a sideways move. It's never going to be an upwards one for me. I don't think he's good enough to go up.
What I'd love, like, there's a lot of this going on at the moment. What I'd love is for him to come out and either say, I want to leave, like, I'm going to leave, and sort of leaves.
Yeah.
Or we might be overthinking it, and he might be injured, and if so,
he's not injured.
At the end of the day, he's a brilliant player.
I won't go that far.
He's a really good player.
He gets 6 goals a season from the wing.
We've spoke about streaky wingers all season.
Nah, he had that patch.
In December, on his day, he's brilliant. I'm not denying that.
Exactly.
But it's just that he ghosts too often for my liking.
But if take away sort of this drama, the player, his age, would you rather keep him? Yes, it's a no-brainer.
Yes, you don't want to let any players go. Yeah, but the depth.
Exactly.
The fact is, it's this attitude that's making me not want to keep him. So if he continues to almost like, let's be real, he's probably not injured.
There's something inside me.
He's not signing a contract.
I really
he clearly
hope
wants to move.
There isn't
let him
this
go.
attitude. I really hope we're just overthinking it. But it's hard to deny.
If he was that desperate to stay, he would sign the contract. He's got a year left in his contract. Let him go. He's not signing. Let him go.
It's sad either way, because I didn't want it to end like this. Because he is a good player. You know it as well.
Yeah, he's a good player, but if he's not signed the contract...
He's not irreplaceable.
He's not irreplaceable. Let him go. He doesn't seem a good attitude in the dressing room.
If this attitude thing is true, I'd quite happily cash in on him this summer.
5 million, snap their arms off.
Just take it.
Take it and run.
Right. Player of the season.
Webster.
Yep. Yeah, moving on.
I would give Brian Hill a close second, 100%. Just for the fact that he's been... Almost last season he spent a lot of time in the right hand side of midfield. This season he's been in the middle, but he's played almost every minute and he's never dropped that level of consistency. That's solid 7 out of 10 rating.
He's had about 2 poor games this season I can think of.
Yeah.
One of them he got sent off in.
Yeah, he hasn't seen every minute in the champion. He seems to play every minute in the centre midfield, grueling position, but he never drops his work rate, anything. He's always at that solid 7, 8 out of 10 level.
The only qualm I'd have, and probably the only reason he's not first for, not the only reason, but part of the reason he's not first for me, is he's played. I saw someone comment, I'm not sure what post it was on our Twitter. Someone commented he has improved his sort of goal involvement, but especially this latter half of the season he's played a lot more advanced. If we played a 4-2-2, he's played in that sort of cam role, and he does need a few more goals and an assist. But he's been incredible. He's only improved.
He can do it all. He's a brilliant
all-rounder. If we can keep him, it would be brilliant. But Adam Webster, I don't even think we need to talk that much. He's just been immense. We paid half the price, but he's twice as good as Aidan Flint.
Yeah, he's so good on the ball. He's a rock.
Stepping into Aidan Flint's shoes, who'd been at the club for such a long time and
difficult
been
job.
commanding, and it was it was sad to see him go as well, and then to step up. Yeah, not even more. Step up and surpass him like he did.
It's one of the
Brilliant.
bargains. It's one of the best transfer deals the club have ever done.
Easily.
I
It's one
saw
of
a-
the bargains of the country, the league in the summer. It's incredible.
I saw a Borough fan saying Flint's a lamppost with tattoos, which I found quite amusing.
Well,
but
he's not had a good season for
no,
Borough,
but
to be
Webster,
fair.
he's brilliant. I didn't see this coming. I really didn't
No.
see this coming and being this good.
I remember watching the first couple of games and thinking he's good.
He's
But
good.
the first couple of games, he had quite a few errors in him.
Yeah.
He's just got better and better.
He's a colossus. He's an absolute. He's like. If there was a
Love him.
championship Van Dijk, it's
I was
Webster.
about to say that.
He is. They're very, very similar,
But
Yeah.
better on the ball.
but better on the ball.
Oi.
And with a fatter head. Douche.
And he's from Portsmouth.
Another thing
Yeah.
you said about Brownhill as well, I just wanted to raise his point. I think that it's very impressive to see how Brownhill's played, mostly in the absence of Corey Smith, who's been injured for most of the season. He's
Incredible.
already stepped up, and obviously we've missed Corey a lot in midfield, but I think Brownhill's helped to nullify that, and we haven't missed Corey Smith as much as we
That
probably
makes
should
this
have.
season all that more impressive to me because everyone says, "Oh yeah, we've lost our 3 best players. We lost our 4 best players.
Yeah.
We haven't had Smith all season.
Like,
I
he's
think
one of
he
the
is our
most
best player.
influential players. He's one of the best. He is the most underrated player in the squad. What I also think is interesting is, in my opinion, Marlon Pack had a much better season last year.
Yeah, I
And
like Pack.
We've seen, bloody love him. He's the best passer in the squad. But this year we've seen a lot more of his defensive side because without Corey, he's had to be that defensive sort of
Yeah.
anchor. And I think he's obviously improved that defensive side of his game, which has sort of depleted his attacking influence.
Yeah.
But we know what he's capable of. And there are still some games where he's absolutely class.
I thought it's a compliment to him that watching the team without Pack just doesn't seem right. It just seems
doesn't.
wrong that he's just not there, just controlling things, playing the quarterback role.
Wolves at
Yeah.
the Wolves FA
We
Cup
were
the
saying
first
the whole
half.
first half, get Pack on. We're not the same team without Pack.
I like Morel as well, and I think Morel played well. He was unlucky to be subbed off in that game, but without Pack, and because you need one of Pack and Corey in
Yeah.
there at least. And
Yeah.
Pack at the moment is key for our squad.
Surprise player of the season then.
I'd go for Jay Da Silva.
Agreed.
I would say I know Webster's surprised, but I think Da Silva, because obviously we saw him coming in. I thought, right, okay, he's gonna be second choice to Kelly, but I think seeing those first few games, I think Borough, I think he played well. I'm thinking, right, this guy's a player. But I was a bit. I said my reservations. Said, he's good defensively. He seems a bit small, but he's just kicked on. He's improved. He's kicked out the team. He's just been brilliant. He's just took me by surprise.
He said everything I wanted to say. I also would give a shout out to both goalkeepers. Because Mayan
yes,
wasn't really
that's
expecting
very
much
true.
from him, and I think we were all a bit worried when O'Leary was starting several games, but he's been excellent as well.
Yeah, O'Leary definitely for me.
And Mayan
Yeah,
let's be honest, because he was a free transfer, third choice at Brighton, and we were like, okay, it looks like he's our first
Another
team,
cheap
maybe going
option,
to battle
yeah.
with Frankie Fielding, but
the
he was brilliant.
Recruitment team, fair play to them. Like how they've spotted these gems. It's like Da Silva. I know he did well at Charlton, got their player of the year, but
Absolute gems.
They can't see much of him at third choice at Brighton, but.
This
Fair
might
play to
be
him.
a bit harder to vote on, but favourite podcast quote.
Ooh.
Mine is.
God. I mean, they're all DOS, so...
Gigi's got a touch like a trampoline.
That wasn't
was
Tone
very-
Radio, wasn't it?
Was it Tone?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Tone, wasn't it? Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know, there's too many podcast quotes.
I'm trying to think.
Saying this
I'm trying to
season
think.
is we're on Tinder and the dates
Yeah.
next year was
Yes, yeah, I'll
good.
go with that. I'll
I
go
can't
with that.
think
Very
of one,
recent.
just
No, I can't choose myself. I said I can't go for that one.
anything that DOS has come out with, really. I can't think of specifics.
There's been some good one-liners, hasn't there?
It's just what he's here for, really.
It's the only reason we have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
I haven't come up with any today. I'm snacking. This is the knowledge today.
It's a more serious podcast.
Serious
for you,
podcast.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think actually. Maybe
Yeah.
like that. I don't know if the people listening could think of one. I'm not sure.
If you are listening and you have one that you can
Yeah.
think of that you've quite enjoyed, we'd really enjoy it if you tweeted them at us
We'd
at
love
BS3 Talk, so that we can actually remember what we're saying.
Yeah.
Because clearly
Yeah.
we can.
I can't remember last week's podcast.
I mean, let's be honest. Mares has a
what's the-
couple. I have I don't think I've had any. But this man,
Oh.
It's all been about
Thank you.
DOS.
it has. And to be fair, I'll take the credit on the Marinovic one when I said I've always wanted him. I was quite happy with that one.
That's iconic. That's like a title.
If you,
That's
if you make
mine.
it, if you make it
Iconic's
to
a
the,
bit far.
That's my submission.
if you make it to the title of a podcast, you've done yourself
Yeah.
well.
True.
Exactly.
That is true.
And now it's kind of just looking ahead to next season. One word for what's going to happen.
Wembley.
Oh, I don't know. Nervous.
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 Yeah. How do you feel ahead of? Go on then, Dos. How do you feel ahead of next season? That's probably more
Oh, optimistic. I say optimistic.
optimistic.
I'm feeling
Coxy,
optimistic.
do you want to
Yeah.
stick with nervous or?
Well, the reason I said nervous, I know this is a one-word thing, but I'm talking.
You can describe it.
Well, yeah, nervous is more because I think this is the first season in a while where we've now got pressure on us.
Yeah,
we
I think
have
teams will
pressure
be
on
looking at us.
to perform now. I'd like to think optimistic, but also nervous.
I think those teams will, like, whereas this season they think, like, write them up. I think teams, let's say, the teams that are looking for promotion will see us as a more of a threat. That, like, when they play us, they will think, right, these guys, they're serious this season. They are a competitor of ours.
Yeah.
So that will put more pressure on us. But I feel the teams need to rise that. West Brom at home, 3-up in 20 minutes. They can rise those big occasions. So I'd say we rose the occasion against Derby. I'd say we played well there. So, yeah. Why not?
Well, I think that's all for today and all for the season, lads.
Oh.
What a ride it's been. Time to say
There will be
goodbye.
content on the Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll try and
we'll
keep
be
you
keeping
updated
it
over
up.
the summer. I mean, we're all going to be in a house next year, so that'll be fun. Should be a bit easier to do the pod and stuff and organise into. That'll be good. And we'll try and get even more content out for you next year. Hopefully some video. More video
That's what,
content.
like, video clips of the podcast. Like when we did that discussion about maybe what did we discuss today? I can't remember. Sheffield United, like that. We just have that little clip and put that on Twitter.
Yeah,
Or
but
you
also
almost smacked your headphones
And
over your
the
head.
full one.
That would have been a nice little clip.
Yeah, true.
Would also like to
Well, that went under
say
the radar.
would also like to say well done to Norwich and Sheffield United.
Yeah.
And good luck to all of the playoff teams apart from
Villa,
Aston
Leeds,
Villa
West
and
Brom,
Derby.
and Derby.
No, I wish West Brom and Leeds luck.
Villa,
Who
no.
would you want to go up? I'd want Leeds
Leeds.
to go up.
Leeds.
Yeah.
Leeds.
Yeah.
West Brom or Leeds.
West Brom I wouldn't mind.
Villa have been vermin lately. They've been
Villa
absolute
are
vermin on our
obsessed with
Twitter.
us.
Have you seen
I'm
the Twitter
sorry.
replies? Villa fans on our Twitter.
I had no issue with them until this. Like after
Why
this,
are they so
just
obsessed
keep
with Johnson?
they keep commenting
There's
about.
They're like Ratch, never a metre away from one on Twitter.
I
That
need
doesn't
to
make sense. You
control
never
these guys
reply
and
from
get
them.
them out the studio.
I would
before
also
we
like
start
to say.
smashing it up.
I would also like to say, next Friday when you're listening to this. So I don't know what the date is on that, but next Friday,
I think it's
6-pointer times BS3. We did a collab.
Yeah.
We did a 1v1v1.
15th, no, 17th. Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah.
17th, Friday the 17th. That'll be out at probably 2 p.m.
All on Bristol City questions.
It's a Bristol City themed 6-pointer episode, so check that out on SoundCloud 6-pointer or the Twitter at _6-pointer.
Lovely.
And this man is the host.
Because
Yes.
I'm the host. And I also, well, we won't give spoilers to the actual episode, but it was an interesting one.
It was a very interesting one. But
It was.
I also just want to put a thank you out for everyone that's been listening to BS3.
Thank you.
And just since we've started it hasn't been a while, but I feel like it's something that, it's been really appreciated by the fans. And
We do
and it's something we
appreciate it.
want to grow and make even bigger. And One Stream in Bristol, we are coming for you. You
Yeah.
should be scared.
we do really we are really thankful. Even the ones on Twitter that react to replies. So that's what
Loved it.
that makes it all worthwhile seeing the replies and all the.
It's at the end of the day. It's a bit of fun.
It's a bit of fun. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's
We
fun.
just like
It's
talking
brilliant.
about Bristol City, so
We do.
to see that people are enjoying it and to see people interacting with it, it does mean a lot
It means
to
a lot
us.
to
And
us. Yeah.
we go again next year. Hopefully, we'll bring you even better content, even bigger content, and stuff you can really enjoy. So yeah, thanks for coming on for the ride, boys. And it's time for my lovely guest to say goodbye as well. So Dos, for the
Right.
last time this season.
Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy your summer and see you in August.
Yeah. See you in August.
Cheers, lads.
Love you all.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
It's like you put the phone down on me.
Well done, guys.
That was